Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thunderous Lure Company, and welcome to today's boatless episode of Thunderous Fishing Tips. Today folks, we're looking for that bullhead catfish bite. I'm running the T-turn bait rig number 1A, which is for catfish and panfish and crappies, and I'm using very, very small worms. Known kind of like it's like a manure worm or a leaf worm, and I've just got them on the hook, so there's not a lot of worm on there, but enough to trigger that bullhead bite. I'll use the pitching technique to cast, not casting it out there very far. Check my drag, not that I need drag for bullhead, but you want to make sure it's not too loose for setting the hook. And now it's just a matter of waiting for that bite. So I'm going to be patient. I'm running braided line. I've got a medium light power rod, which is perfect for panfish and catfish. I love that. And it's 6.5, 7 foot. Sorry, this one's a 7-foot rod. And it's just a matter of now waiting for a bite. So I'm going to cast it in that area. I'm going to keep casting in that area, get the worms to scent up that area, and hopefully attract more bullheads. But I would like to save a few bullhead for the barbecue, so hopefully I can get into some. Stay tuned, folks. I thought he was, oh yeah, I thought he was biting. He picked it up. There we go. All right, that didn't take too long. Doesn't feel like a big one though. Well, I am using small bait. See if it is a bullhead. Yeah, it's just a little bullhead. Okay, little bullhead catfish. I mean, he would be nice on the grill. Maybe I will keep that one, but it's kind of small. It is kind of small, but I tell you, they grill up really, really, really nice. All right, so I still have my worm on there. I'm gonna just kind of put it back on the hook and reuse it because I don't have a lot of worms. Actually, where's my pail? It's back there. I gotta go get it. I didn't bring a lot of worms, so I'm gonna reuse. So he took the bottom hook. Sometimes they take the top hook, some take the bottom. And this is a pitching technique. It's great to use. I mean, I don't have to today because I don't have a lot of debris behind me. But if you're ever fishing from the shore and you've got a lot of trees and whatnot behind you, this is a great way to cast, which is called the pitching technique. Okay, so, all right, well, that's a start. It's a start. And hopefully I can get into some bigger ones because I would like to keep some, like I say, for the grill. But at least that means the fish are on the bite, so I'm happy about that. There we go, there we go. A little bit more of an aggressive bite on that one. And it doesn't feel big again. It feels maybe a little bit bigger. But another bullhead. And again on the bottom hook. Okay, that one's a little bit better. I think this one I'm going to keep. Again, he's not huge. That other one was smaller. Okay, this is also small, but honestly folks, those small ones on the grill, they cook up really, really nicely. And this one, you know what? That's going to go nice on the barbecue right there. Okay, so I got a bag going over there. Put them in. But I'm going to get this, see if I can get another worm. I'll show you how small these worms are that I'm using. Look at these worms. Look how small those worms are. Oops, let's get them in the sun there. They're just tiny. And in case you haven't seen it, I do have a video on 3 key ways to rig up worms depending on what you're fishing for, and I'll put a link in the description. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out because it does make a difference how you rig your worms, right? So okay, that's really small. I think I'm gonna put 2 of these small ones on this hook and then go get a couple more on the top hook. Okay, that one's pretty good. Hey, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Right there. If I were a catfish, I would take that. All right, let me put another worm on this and get my line right back out there again. All right, so I'm baited back up, and I am running braided line today. I like to use braided line when I'm using any live bait. You get a nice direct hook set, and especially for the boatless angler, sometimes you got to cast out really, really far. And if that's the case with the braided line, it gives you more an advantage because there's no stretch. If you've got a long cast out there and you're using mono and you go to set the hook, you get a lot of stretch. So this way, it's a direct hook set. I still have fluorocarbon on my bait rig, on my T-turn bait rig, but for setting the hook, the braid's the way to go. Okay, well, I upsized a bit. I'm gonna go put him in my basket and keep him alive. So I got one biting. There we go. It was a subtle bite. I like to wait for those little, what I'm gonna call small, little, slow tugs. That's what I like to wait for when I'm fishing for bullhead, as opposed to those snap, snap, snap bites. Those slow tugs are the best. Okay, and another. I think we'll let that one go. It's a little small. Okay, let me get the hook out. Oh, he took it right in. Uh-oh, where's my hook? Okay, this is a job for a needle nose. Okay. Okay, a little bit of delicate surgery there, but hey, we're gonna let this guy go. Okay. Yeah, he wanted that worm badly. All right, so again, that came on my bottom hook. It's interesting to see. The top hook is probably just sitting off the bottom ever so slightly. And of course, the bottom hook is sitting right on the bottom. And that's of course where the catfish are sitting, you know, right on the bottom. Okay, get a couple more. I'm gonna put 2 small worms on again. I'm gonna double up on them because they're so small. But the thing with these worms, you can find them in like compost piles. If you have a compost pile or know someone who does, you can find these small worms. And as small as they are, I mean, if all you had was a night crawler, so be it. But these are, let's say, much better than a night crawler. The catfish just absolutely love these worms. And to be honest with you, so do the perch in the summertime. Give my hands a rinse here. Okay. Yeah, the bait looks good. 2 nice hooks full of worms. Let's get my line back out there again. See if we can get a little bit bigger one this time. Oh, that, just as I picked it up to get a feel for him, he hammered it. When I say hammer, I mean like that, not the snap. I just felt a nice slow tug. And it looked to be getting, all about the same size. This is another, this one is, you know what? That one is not too bad. I'm thinking that one's gonna be, he's bigger than the other, that's for sure. And he's got some meat to him. And again, look at this, folks, bottom hook. Come on, open your mouth. Open your mouth. Hook is right here. No needle nose required. That's a nice, you know what? That right there, folks, is a nice barbecue size bullhead right there. They have a very, very soft, like a very soft meat. So what I like about the smaller bullhead is that they grill up nicely, and the meat is able to a certain point, firm up a bit, which I personally prefer. I'm not crazy about that real soft kind of meat. I prefer the more of a firm, it's not going to be like a walleye, like a firm flaky meat, but it'll firm up a bit on the grill. But those real big ones, they're basically soft. All right, I got to find myself another worm here. And we're going to get right back out there again, folks, because it looks like the bite is definitely on. They're not huge, which I actually prefer. And I think I'm gonna get myself a little barbecue out of this deal today. One by one, just keep weeding through the small ones to get to the bigger ones, right? Get her out there. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I've got a little deep hole over here where I'm keeping the catfish in a fish basket. So I'm just gonna go put him in there, give this a rest, and then come right back. Yeah, that's a good barbecue size right there. Oh. Caught me on the look away, folks. He caught me on the old look away. I just saw my rod tip going out of the corner of my eye. You know what? These are not huge fish, but I'll tell you what, this is a lot of fun. And you know what else this would be fun for if you had kids? That's another one that's kind of borderline. I think I'm gonna keep it. It's another borderline kind of size fish. Now they're not huge, but I think I gotta keep it, folks. He's got some meat, he's got some shoulders, let's put it that way. So we're gonna keep that one. That's a nice little size. But my worms, I gotta get them re-rigged because they're taking a beating. But so far, all the fish came on the bottom hook. All right, let me get re-rigged and back out there again. There we go, there's another one. Again, they all feel to be about around the same size. But as I said earlier, if I had my grandkids here with me today, it's a shame they live so far away. But if they were here today, they'd be having a whole lot of fun catching these bullheads. Okay, and that one is a little small, just slightly smaller than the other ones. So we're gonna put him back. Bottom hook again. Okay, so let me get re-rigged. That's the hot hook. Those fish are right on the bottom. Okay, we'll get re-rigged and get right back out there again. Okay, so I've really bulked up my hooks this time. I put 3 of those small worms on each hook. Let's see if that produces a bigger fish. Okay, in we go. Beautiful cast, nice spot. Let's see what happens with this, folks, now. Oh, that was a different bite. Oh, something silver. What do we got here? We got a little sheephead. There we go. We got a little sheephead. Look at that. He took my bulked up on the top hook. First fish on the top hook, little sheephead. Look at that. Nice to see those small fish, right? Because small fish means that the fish are making it, and that's really good. You need to see those small fish. They can't all be big. In you go, buddy. All right, on the top hook, how do you like that? I'm gonna put 3 more worms on the top hook again and get back out there and see if I can see what else I can trigger with that bulked up bait. Wow, snap, 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 stop. That's usually the sign of a smaller fish. Snap, snap, stop. There's a good, oh, that was a better, see those snaps? That's a different fish or a smaller fish? Okay, actually that was better. That was better. I don't know if you noticed that. It's almost as if I had like something really small or different biting, and then something else moved in and picked it up because that last bite was a little bit better. So let's see what we got on that bulked up worm bait. Oh, look at this. You're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Oh, those are called white perch. Those are white perch. Look at this. That's the beauty of running a high-low rig. You could get 2 at a time. See ya, buddy. And you know this one This one's gonna go on the grill with those catfish. I'm gonna have a little, it's not that big, I know, but you know what? I'm gonna scale them, gut them, and put them whole on the grill. It'll be fantastic. So how do you like that? 3 worms on the hook, bulked up bait, and a double header. You gotta love that. Not big fish, but big on fun. This is a riot. Wherever you're tuning in from, I hope you give an opportunity to find the shoreline somewhere, just relax and get a line wet. Stress-free, and it's a lot of fun. Wherever you're tuning in from, thanks for joining me on today's episode of Thunderous Fishing Tips. As always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing. The bigger one came on the bottom hook. Okay, what a day I'm having.